Hello, welcome to scr1tno Knitting Project podcast. My name is Sharon and I'm coming to you from Surrey in the UK, where I live with my family, 3 cats and a dog. This is episode 43 and today's Thursday the 30th of January 2019. Welcome if you're a new viewer, welcome back if you're a returning viewer. Thank you so much for bearing with me. I'm so sorry I've been on such a long hiatus. I had the world's worst cold. I mean, it was only a cold, it wasn't anything serious, but boy did it make me feel ill. So I'm really sorry I've been absent. We've had a few problems family wise as well, so it's just all in all added up to no podcast. So admin, you can find me as scr1tno pretty much everywhere, and the podcast has a Ravelry group of the same name. We have a year-long knit-along going on at the moment, which is the square a day cow. And basically that we're all knitting a square a day on our scrappy projects. Now, I was going to run a different cow between now and the end of March, but seeing as we're almost at the end of January, well, we are at the end of January, it finishes tomorrow, and by the time you see this it will be February, I'm giving up on that one. And I will think about running something either shorter or just leaving it till the 1st of April. I will get back to you on that one. So it really will depend on what happens family wise in the next couple of weeks as to what I do with that. But without further ado, I do have a winner for the black cat. Thank you so much for everybody who entered. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 entries. You all got it right. It was brilliant. Well done for spotting him. I think I might do that through Vlogmas again next year. That was so much fun. So I did random number generator. So what I did was I put all of your initials down with a number on a piece of paper. Can you see that? I'll put these photographs in at the end anyway. And then I did a random number generator between 1 and 8. And it picked number 6, which was Sheila Lawrence. Well done, Sheila. So if you can email me with your address, I will get your prize out to you. So Sheila, you have won this lovely skein of yarn. I hope you like it. It's very pretty, very delicately speckled and tonal. So it's got speckles and tonals, and it is a Flea Bubs and Layla, and it's a BFL bamboo. Super squidgy. That's there. And I'll pop a couple of little extra treats in with it as well. Well done, Sheila. Thank you very much for that. Email me your address. Okay, so that was the black cat. Spot the black cat from Vlogmas. Yeah, I can't believe I'm not doing that till the end of January. That is so bad. I'm so sorry, guys. Right, so I think that's it for everything for admin. I can't think of anything else at the moment. Let's get into the podcast proper. So day one is socks, and I've been working a bit on my work in progress socks, which are hanging out in my beautiful bag from Sherry Iris, who very kindly stitched my initial on it. This is going to be one of my most precious bags. I love it. I think it's always going to have a sock. And at the moment it's housing my Christmas socks from Woody Goodness. Now this was vintage Christmas, I believe. Here's the colourway. Now the last time you saw these, I was going to knit them in the cinema, and I was about there, I think, and I finished them. I finished that one. So this is the first sock, I hasten to add. I haven't actually finished it. See a pretty colourway. You can definitely see vintage Christmas in this. So these will be a pair of socks I'll put up for next Christmas. And that's where I knit it in Star Wars, and it got a bit can you say it's got obviously a bit of a tent part of the film. And then I have cast on the rib. I'm doing a twisted rib. This is just my plain vanilla socks, twisted rib, and I'm just going into the main plain stockinette. So they're sitting there waiting for, well, me to knit them really. I'm using 2.5mm Licky needles, I do my socks on 2 circulars, which I find is really quick for me. I love doing them on 2 circulars. It doesn't take me so long. Yeah, that's the yarn. It's not lovely. Very messy cake now. It's been transported around to the cinema too many times. It's done 2 films now. I love it. I love it. So I'm going to put this away for kind of emergency car knitting and things, but that's going to be a pair of Christmas socks, so it's not like I need them in a hurry. So that's sock whip 1. Sock whip 2 came about by having quite an anxious last few days. Member of our family is not very well at all, and we've had a lot of worry, and being a knitter, I take my refuge in knitting, and also in casting on something new. So I am doing scrappy socks. Now these, the yarn for this is Living in a lovely bowl by So Sweet Violet, which I adore. So pretty. I did buy it, so it's just sitting in that, using it as a yarn bowl. Those are the minis I haven't put in the socks yet, and yeah, love it. Now our lovely moderator Katie is making these too, so watch her Instagram for when she sells them. I've got one. I don't think she's got any up at the moment as of today, but I know she is doing some more, so check out her Instagram. I will link her in the show notes as a maker, so please do go check her out. And I haven't got my one today to show in acquisitions, but hopefully I will do for next week. So these are my scrappy socks, and I am doing 2 at a time. I'm doing them kind of concurrently. I do a bit on this one, and then I do a bit on this one. So this is they are exactly the same. I am doing 8 rows of each colour, except on the heel. I did the full whack on the heel, and I think I did 10 rows on the rib. But I'm doing 8 rows of each colour. Now, if I can remember, that is Lay Family yarn, and it was dyed by Megan, Kelly's daughter. This is Sherry Iris. That is Lay Family yarn. I think that's a classic Lay Family yarn. I think that's a Kelly. I believe that is another Megan. That is a Sherry Iris. That's a Lay Family yarn. That one is Sherry Iris. That one is Sherry Iris. That's Lay Family yarn. That one is Sherry Iris. That one is Sherry Iris. That is Lay Family yarn, and I believe, yes, that's a Sherry Iris that I'm just going into there. This is going to be the last colour I do before I put in the toe. So I'm very nearly finished these. Oh, I'm so pleased with them. I absolutely adore them. They're so pretty. And this is the other one. It's the same. It's exactly the same. As you can see, I have my ends to sew in, which I will be doing. Now, I've experimented on these socks. I have, on the leg, I have left the ends for me to sew in, and on the foot, I have knitted my ends in, because I want to see which one pops out the worst as to which method to use. So a bit of an experiment going on there. If I'd thought about it, what I would have done is sewn in the ends, left the ends to sew in on the cuff of one, and knitted in the ends on the foot of one, and then done the opposite way around on the other. But yeah, it didn't occur to me to do that. But I love these. So pretty. So I started these. When did I start these, Katie? Wednesday? Might have been Wednesday. Might have been Thursday when I was too ill to podcast. I think I might have reached for these. Anyway, one day last week. So I've nearly got a pair of socks, and I have knit on other things as well. So yeah, really pleased with those. So that is day 1 socks. So day 2 is Shawl day, and this is also a new cast on. This is my I feel sick with my cold cast on. So this was quite an old new cast on. I've made it out of my Giddy Yarns Advent, which is a gradient, which we'll see in a moment. I had a lovely viewer come up to me at Waltham Abbey Wolf Show, and say hi. So hi, so sorry I've forgotten your name. I was still full of cold in my defence. Now she's not opened her Giddy Yarns advent calendar yet, so if that's you, you want to skip this section, might be an idea. Okay, so I'm going to give you a moment to disappear. Right, this is holding out in an Elderflower Stitches bag. Isn't that pretty? I love this pop of pink on the top. Now this was with her Christmas Eve cast on set, but as it turned out I didn't do a Christmas Eve cast on because quite frankly I have enough cast on. So here we go. Now I decided that with my Giddy Yarns Advent I was going to do another litmus cowl because I live and die in my litmus cowl, and I'm on colour number 14, so I have actually done it quite a lot of this. Here we go. So this is the order in which they came out, and that is just my provisional cast on, the blue at the bottom there. And it's so pretty. I love the colours, absolutely love the colours. I love the fact that there's some are speckled, some are tonal. Ooh. And it goes into the darker blues, and now we're going back out into lighter blue and then into green, I believe. I think it's green at the end. Isn't that lovely? It's going to make such a fun cowl. I can't wait. Look. It's going to be brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So yeah, that's colour 14. Now, I compared this to my litmus cowl. The one I did my Sherry Iris. I weighed it basically, and to make sure I had enough yarn so I didn't have to do a contrast colour between each of the colours. And I have more yarn in this than I have in my litmus cowl, so I should be good, should be fine. I've cast on the same amount of stitches on the same needle, and yeah, I cannot wait. It's so pretty. Isn't that lovely? It's a proper rainbow. Yeah, so that is it at the moment. Now the litmus cowl is a pattern by Amy Florence of the Stranded podcast, and it's a free pattern. It's absolutely lovely. Loads of people have made it, and it's great just sitting and knitting. I took this to the wall show so I could chat and knit at the same time, and yeah, really enjoyed it. So that's my day 2 shawl day. So day 3 is garment day, and that is hanging out in my busy pottering Cornish bag, which I absolutely love. And this Stan hasn't actually got any bags in her shop at the moment, as I checked last night. I may have been looking for a cheer up purchase as you do. And Anne's bags, as you know, I absolutely adore. So here we go. This is the Ingrid sweater by Isabel Kramer. It is a colourwork sweater, and it looks like that. I really like it. I'm doing this in a commercial yarn. I'm using a Serdar yarn. It's called oh hello, that one's undressed itself nicely. But it's Sublime. Is it baby? Yeah, baby cashmere merino silk DK. I'm surprised I don't actually remember that. The colours that I'm using is linked in my project on Ravelry if you want to check what colours I'm using. However, it is vintage stash, so whether they're still available or not, I don't know. And I am, that's a needle cozy, also by Busy Pottering. I am just untangling myself. Right, this is how far I got. I am fair cracking on with this now. Hold on, it's got all its ends out. Badly babe sweater. Right, so here we go. This is it. It's, as you can see, top down colourwork sweater with a yoke. I love the yoke. This yarn, bearing in mind it is so slidey, it did colourwork amazingly well. I cannot get over how well it's done this colour work. It's great. So although you should use toothy yarn, yeah, this worked. I did swatch first. I have a little baby swatch. Here it is. Which I didn't swatch for gauge. I just swatched for whether the colours worked together, which they did, and it held up really well. This hasn't come apart either. So I'm really pleased with it. I did get gauge, by the way. It's actually spot on gauge, which is really unusual for me, but it is. And I love it. Absolutely love it. I am whizzing down the body now. The body has, I've done the decreases for the waist shaping, and I'm about to do the increases. I'm literally, my next row is an increase row. So I love it, and I am using good old Knit Pro. I believe these are Melodies are plastic. What's the other sets I've got? I've got Melodies, I've got Paris, they're wood. Oh, something beginning with C, like Cascade or Carousel or something like that. But basically, they're zings. They're basically a Knit Pro zing. But it is a, what's the word? When you have the tips and the cable, interchangeable, that's it. It is an interchangeable set. I got it on quite a small cable. I think it's only a 60-inch cable. But no, not 60 inch, 60 centimetres. 60 inch would be really big. 60 centimetre cable. But yeah, it's working really well. That's my main colour. And I have, so that's where I was last time, where the little piggy is from Corner of Craft. I managed to get all the way down there. So I'm fair flying on it now. I'm really enjoying it. Really enjoying it. Oh, I can't wait to get it done. I'd love to get it off the needles. But I have lots of other things I also enjoy working on. So that's what's happening with that at the moment. So yeah, so that's day 3, garment day. So day 4 is crochet day at the moment, and that is hanging out in a Bags by Awesome granny bag with caravans all over it. And this is my friendship granny square, giant granny square, and basically I'm using the minis that I got from my friends at Christmas. Bear with me, this was supposed to have a stitch marker in it, but it doesn't. Okay, well, that's going to be fun. Stick that around my wrist, I think. Hold on, I don't want my stitch disappearing. Right, so this is it. Oh, there it is. I found my stitch marker. Let's put my stitch marker in. There we go. Now I can tighten that up and make this all a lot easier. That's currently a mini, I think, from Katie. So this are minis from my friends Laura of the Lonely Knitter podcast, Katie of, as in our moderator Katie, and Jenny of Woolly Goodness Yarns. So I'm alternating Katie's and Laura's at the moment because they were my Christmas advent, and then Jenny's all going at the end because she was the 12 days of Christmas. And I think once I get them all in there, I'm going to call it a day on it and use it as a lap blanket. I have still got a lot of yarn to go, I hasten to add, but isn't that pretty? Now I can't crochet in a straight line, so I've decided to do a giant square instead, and yeah, I'm really pleased with it. So it's got to the stage now where the sides are different because I keep running out of minis at different places, but it's so pretty. I love it. See, that's a lot darker, that side with the dark ones, dark and light. I love it, absolutely love it. So that's all 4 sides. But isn't that lovely? Yeah, so this is my friendship crochet project. I would work on it a lot more, but it turns out that crochet is now hurting my hands a little bit. This is the hook I use. I believe it's a 3mm. I can't remember the maker, but I'm fairly sure she doesn't do them anymore. I think she's stopped. But yeah, such a pretty little hook, look. I love this hook. It's got here, it's got handholds, so actually it's kinder on my hands than some of the other ones. Oh, absolutely adore it. It's so pretty. So that's the hook I'm using. and yeah, it's just scraps of yarn. Then if I decide I do want it to go any bigger, I have some magic knot balls in here. I wish I could work on it every day. My thoughts were I was going to do a round a day on it, or a mini a day, because they're so big now that the minis aren't going all the way around. But it hurts my wrists too much. So just little and often now. I can get away with doing it for a day when it's crochet day. As long as I mean, if it's a weekend, it's the crochet day, then I have to be a bit careful, because then obviously I've got a lot more time to crochet. But under like a normal day, I haven't got any problems with it at all. Yesterday was crochet day, every time I got home from work, and yeah, it didn't affect me at all. So that's day 4, and at the moment it's crochet day. So day 5 is mystery blanket day, and I haven't worked on my mystery blanket yet so far this year, except for the square I showed you last time. I haven't done anything since then. Today is mystery blanket day. I want to get it all set up so I can get it sorted and work on it today. Hopefully I'll get some time to do that, but yeah, that's the plans for today, so I'll have something to show you next week. Right, so let's move straight on into day 6, which is Scrappy Project Day, and that is living, this week's Scrappy Project is living in my So Sweet Violet bag, which I really adore, and is my Habitations row, which is a pattern from Knit Vent 2019 by Helen Stewart, and I am doing this one on higher bamboos. Not sure of the size. What size are they? It's whatever size it says in the pattern, to be honest. On 100 centimetre, 100 metres, because that'd be a cable and a half, wouldn't it? 100 centimetre, there we go. Cable, but yeah, I don't know what size they are. Whatever it says in the pattern. And this one is in the lovely Kelly's Advent. So this is Lay Family Yarns Advent for 2019. It's growing. I'm only on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5th mini. So I think I was there last podcast. Where is my stitch mark? See, my stitch marker's there, but maybe I was actually. Maybe I was just starting that one. So yeah, if I've done all that, that's not bad. I did more than I realised. Yeah, thinking about it, that's where I was just putting that colour in. Yeah, no, I am definitely. That's as much as I did. So they get quite a lot longer. The theory is there's an even amount of rows between each of the eyelets. Don't look too closely, is all I can say. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. It's a bit like now you see me, now you don't. It's like I gave up trying to do a stitch count on it about there, I think. I think I decided that what will be will be. But yeah, I do love it. It's great fun to knit. It's really easy, relaxing knit, and obviously using such beautiful minis. And I am at the moment throwing the whole of the 20 grams in. I did have a wobble and thought I may only use 10. Because I don't know how well it's going to affect when you need to change, because you need to change when you're 50% through. But sorry, I've just got totally distracted because I have just noticed my cherry tree has got blossom on it. That's early. If I can I'll put some footage in later. Yeah. Normally when our cherry tree gets blossom on it, we get snow. It's a good sign, isn't it? Yeah, I love this. So this is my scrappy project, my day 6, and that's all I want to work on. It's in a Christmas needle cozy at the moment because I have put all my non-Christmas stuff away, and where I have put it I cannot get to it at the moment, so I've got a mixture of Christmas bags and normal bags depending on whether I can get to them or not. I need to have a week off to sort out my graph room. That would be good. So that's day 6, scrappy project day. My cosy memory blanket, and that is living in my seaside bag, my busy pottery. As the year goes on, you'll get to see this better because the blanket starts filling it out, but it's really squidgy at the moment. I have got so many of these minis to show you, and unhelpfully I am in the middle of, believe it or not, a square. So that's today's square, which I'll show you properly next week. So where shall I start? Well, let's start on the top row. Okay, so we have got that one there. Now, which is the first one? I'm done. I have no idea where to start on this. Let's start on that one. Okay, so that one is Sherry Iris. I mean, that is now gone in my socks. So these have all gone in my socks now. That is Sherry Iris. That is Megan Lay Family Yarn. I believe that one might be Megan Lay Family Yarn too. That is Lay Family Yarn and Sparkly. That is Lay Family Yarn. 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 You get the impression I had quite a few Lay Family Yarns this time. Down the bottom here, that's Lay Family Yarn. That's Lay Family Yarn. That's Sherry Iris. That's Sherry Iris. That is Sherry Iris. Right, so that's back to there, and then where am I? I'm just on the top row, aren't I? So that's Lay Family Yarn. This is Beehive Yarns, these ones. I'm going into some Beehive Yarns. So I need to get my stitch markers back off of this because I'm running out of stitch markers. That's awful. That always shows me how long it's taken me to podcast. But as you can see, it is 5 by 6 when that one's finished. Today is the 30th. That is 30 squares. So I am on it at the moment. I wasn't last week. I had to have a bit of a catch-up day, but yeah, I'm on it at the moment. I'm really pleased with it. I love it. I love it at this stage because it's so easy to show on the podcast. So later on, I can sort out all my stitch markers and claim them back. So I use I use signature needles for this. A couple of years ago, these are 2.5mm signature needles. Well, hubby treated me to them, I think for Valentine's Day. I think I started my first ever cozy memory blanket in the December, and then because I was enjoying it really so much, he got these for me for Valentine's Day. So they are a bit of a purchase, especially if you live in the UK, because you get hammered on customs as well for them. I've kind of given up buying stuff from the States now. I bought some minis from Knit Style Yarns just after Christmas, and between the postage and the amount of customs I had to pay, it ended up I paid for the minis about 3 times over. But that's it, I'm done. I have got friends actually that have a holiday home in the States. I'm hoping, well, it's my boss in actual fact, so I'm hoping I might be able to order stuff and get it shipped to him, but I need to work out the logistics of doing that. Right, anyway, sidebar, that's my cozy memory blanket. So, happy mail. I have a lot, partly because obviously I haven't podcasted for a little while, but equally because I went to the Walthamstow Wool Show. So I'm going to do the Wool Show purchases first, I think. First of all, Made by Penguins. They have an app. If I think about it, I will link to it in the show notes. You will have to wait for a little while for show notes because I won't have a chance to do them today, but you're used to waiting for my show notes. But this is Made by Penguins, and this, my middle daughter Charlie, is very knit-worthy where socks are concerned. She is absolute penguin addict. She is currently helping out with my other daughter's Rainbow Group and has been called Penguin. So this is for her, and I got this lovely yarn to make socks. So this is 85% merino, 15% nylon, mega squidgy, and isn't that blue? These blue colours are just so her colours. She will love this, and these are going to be socks for her for Easter. I don't think she watches my podcast. In fact, I'm sure she doesn't. I hope not. Otherwise, Charlie, these are for you. So yeah, these are going to be socks for her for Easter. I have actually promised my other daughter, Megan. Do you remember way back when she drove me to the Lay Family Yarn Retreat? Well, her reward for that was supposed to be a pair of socks, which I hadn't got around to doing, so I need to knit them first, otherwise she'll get really upset with me. But yeah, isn't that lovely? I love that colour. As I said, it's made by penguins. So that was one of my purchases. Oh, now this was a purchase too. It is the Wolf Abbey Wool Show tote bag. Now my other purchase is okay, so there's those and that. Oh, and that. Okay, so my next purchase is 5 balls of DK from the lovely Dusty Dimples, and this is in her blush colourway. They're all slightly different, and one of them sparkly. So there's going to be a little bit of sparkle in this jumper, but basically it's going to be a sweater. I think it's going to be a another understated. I need to just check the yardage and how many balls I used, but I think I used 5. If not, I might have to nab another one. I don't even think I used 5. I think I used 5 because I was helical knitting, but I had leftovers. So yeah, anyway, that's what I'm using it for. But these are all the colours together. So they are all slightly different, but that's the joys of hand-dyed yarn and why it's so lovely. And I will again helical knit it. So helical knitting is where you alternate skeins in the round, and there is a great tutorial by Grace of the Babbles Yarns podcast if you want to see what that's about. Right, next up is I bought some minis, and this is from Rosie's Moments. This one has been naughty and undressed itself, but this is so pretty. I love this one, and it was right at the back of the display. Poor guy. There's a lovely guy working the stall. I was like, I'm going to be the really annoying person that wants the one at the very back, so you have to take them all off. But I did love that one. And then these are the other ones that I got. So these are all going to go in my cozy memory blanket. I had a lovely time. That's pretty, it's sparkle. I had a lovely time, met up with Laura of the Lonely Knitter podcast, Charlie of Noodle Soup Yarns, and Mia of Brambles and Me. So that was great to get to see everybody and chat, and Mia's mum, who was lovely. Yeah, isn't that pretty? So they are all going to go in my blanket and possibly get turned into a scrappy pair of socks if I feel like it as well. So yeah, are they 10 gram minis? No, 20 gram minis. They're 20 gram minis. And they're all merino nylon, except for the one with stellina in it, which is merino nylon and stellina. So that was my Waltham Abbey purchases. I think we can agree that was quite tame for me, but I wanted to not buy random skeins of yarn. I wanted to buy with a purpose, which I did. As I said, I saw that one for Charlie and I thought, well, that's actually brilliant. I can do that for her birthday. I desperately want to knit myself another understated, and I want a pink one so I can wear it with sort of summer dresses. And I loved this colour when I saw it at Unravel last year. Did I love it enough at Unravel that I bought one? Oh, I might have another one. I may actually have one of those from Unravel last year. I will have to look. This is why putting your stash on Ravelry is a good idea. I don't get around to do it. There's just not enough hours in the day. Right, so next up, let's leave clubs till last. So if it's a club, you can wait. You're a club. You're not a club. You three are clubs. Right. So I am supporting the Flower Power Fund. Now that's a fund that's run by Sarah Holmes, who is Sherlock Knits on Instagram. The Flower Power Fund itself has an Instagram account, and every month a different indie dyer dyes a yarn for it. And January's was Fruitful Fusion, and this is beautiful. It's called Mrs. Bucket. This is Bouquet. It's absolutely lovely. I've not decided what I'm going to do with my Flower Power Fund yarns yet. I have still got quite a few that I haven't knit from the last time it ran, which was the year before last, and I'm thinking I might try and put them all into something together. So yeah, watch out, don't know about that one. So that's that one. Then the other one is that the lovely Kelly of Lay Family Yarn has done her Garden Birds mini skein set. Now this is a set based on her advent calendar, because her advent calendar was Garden Birds, but they are slightly different, so I thought I'd treat myself too. Well, they're Kelly's minis. I'm never ever not going to buy them, to be honest. Absolutely adore them. Are they pretty? Absolutely love them. So yeah, that's the Garden Birds mini skein set. I don't know whether she's still got any left, but they were this week's. This week's minis. So next up are some clubs. I'm going to do that one first, I think. Now, if you are doing the 2020 Debbie Abrahams mystery blanket and you haven't had your yarn pack, look away now, because that's what I'm going to show next. Mine turned up yesterday, which I was really excited about. The patterns get released on the 1st, so that's Saturday. So bear with me. I should have got this prepped first. Right, so these are the yarn colours. This is the colour palette for the 2020 blanket. It looks lovely, doesn't it? Whether I'll actually ever get around to doing it in 2020 or not is another matter. I am definitely going to try and finish the 2019 one first. We all know I'm going to cast this on, don't we? Dreadful. So yeah, that's the colour palette for the 2020 mystery blanket. So I'm looking forward to that. And last but not least, I'm going to do these ones first because these are less recent. Right, this is the Lay Family Yarn Walkies Club. So if you haven't got your January Lay Family Yarns Walkies Club, please look away now. This is called Childhood Memories, and it's really pretty. Isn't that lovely? Absolutely adore this. So I really want to knit socks. I want to try and knit socks in these for myself throughout the year, but I have 2 sock whips at the moment that I need to work on. I need to get the penguin socks done, and I need to get Meg socks done, so I may be a little bit behind on that. So that's the Walkies Club, and I think February's Walkies Club is up now if you want to join in for this next month. And this is all based around Kelly's adorable new puppy called Jeff, and that's Jeff there. Isn't he lovely? Such a good idea. I love it. So next up is also a club from Kelly. It's the 2020 Mini Skein Club, and it's based on childhood books, and she very kindly for January did my favourite book, which is Brambley Hedge. Now this is a book I read to my daughters when they were growing up, and it's all about little mice that live in a hedgerow, and I absolutely adore it. If you saw one of my vlogs during the summer, you'd have seen I bought the book recently. I managed to get hold of a second-hand copy, and it's really pretty. And I just love it. I love the stories, and I adore this yarn. It's so pretty, so pretty. So that was the January Mini Skein Club. Lay Family Yarn. Okay, next up is the Giddy Yarns Nostalgia Club. So if you're a member of that, this one's only just arrived, so this one's more likely to be a spoiler, so please look away if you haven't got yours yet. I hate spoiling people, so yeah, please do look away. Right, so this is the Nostalgia Club. It's based on years. This is 1900 to 1909, and it comes with a little explanation as to what all the different minis mean. And this is just so pretty. Isn't that lovely? I love these colours. Again, I have no idea what I'm going to do with these at the moment. I'm going to hold on to them until they start yelling at me what they want to become. I mean, they would make some fab socks, but there are only so many pairs of socks I can knit in a year. I mean, I'm going to have a good go at it apparently this year, but anyway, that's Giddy Yarns. And it's the Nostalgia Club. And yeah, this is one of these are the 3 clubs that I'm going to do this year, which is the Walkies Club, the Lay Family Yarn Mini Club, and this Nostalgia Club with Giddy Yarns. They are my chosen clubs for the year. And if I can, I'm going to snag a Flower Power Fund skein, but it can get a bit frantic, and I've promised myself I'm not going to sit on updates because they're too stressful. So that brings me around to destashing. Now, I adore Sherry Iris, both as a person and her yarn, and she had a Easter set coming out, or no, was it an Easter set, or was it it was a spring set, wasn't it? Spring sparkle set, that was it. Which I really, really wanted, but I felt I couldn't really justify the amount of yarn that I've got in my house at the moment. So I decided to do a destash last Friday, a very successful destash. Thank you so much for those that bought, because it did allow me to buy the Sherry Iris on the Sherry Iris update, which was fantastic. Now, the things I'm destashing, there's nothing wrong with them, but the danger with doing clubs is occasionally you will get yarn that you're not so keen on. And I've made a bit of a mistake in as far as I am a Hufflepuff, which is fine. I have no problem with being a Hufflepuff. However, I really, really, really don't like yellow and grey or yellow and black together. I just don't. It's just not my taste. So there is a lovely set of yellow and black minis and some yellow and black sock set, which is made by the gorgeous Dusty Dimple. So I completely adore. As you saw, I just bought a sweater's quantity of her yarn. So there's nothing wrong with it. It's just not to my taste. So that's still available. Actually, that's on my Instagram. Now, my Instagram, if I remember, I will put down here. There is a destash Instagram, and it's scr1tno destash. And that's where I will post it, and on it just put sold, and I will send you a PayPal invoice, which if you can pay friends and family, that would be great. And I'll post it out to you. I have 2 left from Friday to post, which are going out today. One because the girl was away, and the other one because I just haven't got around to getting to the post office because this week has been a bit of a week. Right, so but they are going out today. Now, theoretically, my next destash will be on the 7th of February. However, I may do one tomorrow if I get my act together. So my theory is that they should go up on a Friday, because Fridays I do not work, so I can kind of police it. It was funny last week because things were selling before I finished putting them up, and I was like, oh, this is going a bit mad. And only a few people knew about it because I did it straight away, kind of thing. But yeah, thank you for everybody who's shopped. That's great. It's all indie dyed yarn at the moment. I have a Etsy shop. It's a neglected Etsy shop. So I decided just to try it on Instagram for the moment, and it seems to be quite successful. So yeah, that's that. As I said, nothing wrong with the yarn, just occasionally with the danger of buying clubs is occasionally you just don't get something you're not that keen on. And if that's the case, then I will destash it. So next up is life stuff. Yeah, everybody's fine. Sort of close family wise, girls are fine. I'm okay getting over this cold. As you can hear, it's still in my voice a little bit, but it's not as bad as it was. Unfortunately, my father-in-law, Ian's dad, is very poorly. So he is up with his parents at the moment. We were supposed to be going away. I probably are not now. Yeah, it's a very sad time. Very sad. And that's another reason why being a bit absent is because obviously I've been supporting Ian. I am supposed to be on leave next week anyway, so I don't know whether I will still be on leave and go up north, or whether I will cancel my leave and keep it. We literally don't know what's going to happen from hour to hour. Hence the scrappy socks were my worry socks. So yeah, that's happening. In other news, because I don't want to end the podcast on a down note, I am going to unravel. We are going on the Sunday, and I am going with my lovely eldest daughter who has given up her time to take her mum to unravel. I cannot wait. If you are going and you see me, please do come say hi. I love it when people do that. It's great. And yeah, I'm going more to say hi to people than I am to buy, because I want to try and be a little bit more mindful about what I'm buying. That said, I have a budget. It will happen. Oh dear. Yeah, so that's it really. And I can't tell you what my upcoming week is going to be like, because I don't know. I am back on project. I am enjoying working on different things on different days. If you are new, firstly, apologies, because this has been a bit of a long rambling podcast. They're not normally as long as this. They're normally about 30 minutes. That's because I haven't done it for a couple of weeks. Yeah, if you're new, the knitting project, basically I work on a different whip a day. So day 1 is socks, day 2 is shawl, as you've just seen. And the idea is to do it over 6 days, because there's 7 days in a week. So if you do it over 6 days, different projects will fall on different days the following week, because some days I'm a lot busier than others. On a Tuesday, I'm a guide leader, so on Tuesdays I have guides, and on Thursdays, today, I have brownies. So on those 2 days I don't get anywhere near as much knitting time as I would do on other days. So if I only had projects that I worked on if I only had a project I worked on a Tuesday, I would never get it finished, because I have no time at all. Thursday I do have a bit more time, but that's why it's 6 days, not 7. So that's the whole idea behind the knitting project. And the other idea is that I actually finish things. So I am trying not to cast on anything new, she says, with 2 new cast-ons this week. That's appalling, isn't it? Right, no more new cast-ons, Sharon. Just carry on with your knitting. Get what you've got done. That would be good, wouldn't it? Right, I'm going to go and put my mess away now, because as usual with podcasting, it is absolutely covered in front of me. I hope you all have a great week wherever you are. Take care, and I will see you next week.